Last time on Square Roots, we did some light gardening in Vault 22, bowed before the king, and talked a depressed drunk woman into signing a contract. Later, we assumed the position. Fisto, don't you know that though you must go, I'll never forget what we had. Fisto, if a battery falls out my butt, then I'll know for sure you're the dad.
Wow.
Wait, who is the Jepestan drunk woman?
Guess.
Oh, I didn't do that.
All right, who's going to host this week? Feels like a Johnny week, since Vanessa has to be Questlog girl.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
or
Hey,
a Maddie week.
That's you, John.
Hey, everybody. It's Square Roots, and I'm your Square Roots host, Johnny Brandon. And with me...
Maybe it should be a Matt week.
Yeah, great,
Who
great,
is this robot
natural
hosting this show?
delivery.
Okay, let me try that again. Hey there, cats and kittens. It's your
There it
host,
is.
Johnny Brandon, and I'm here with my swinging pals, ring-a-ding Matthew Van Zandt.
Ding, 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 baby.
And we got one heck of a rootin' tootin' mama right here. We got Vanessa on the mic.
It's aces, hun.
Now, we don't want to go to Bombsville, so let's move on to what we do on this old podcast tape. Here on Square Roots, we like to play a classic JRPG, one chunker at a time. And tonight's sexy little chunker, well, it's all about New Vegas, sweetie. New Vegas. That's right. But before we do that, why don't we talk about the hottest, poppinest gaming news? Matthew Van Zandt at our news desk. What do you got for us today, buddy?
I don't know. I'm hypnotized right now. Can we do this every week? This is amazing. I mean, this is...
I had that list of Frank Sinatra sayings, and I got to pull that up again because that was really good.
Hot gaming news for the week. Ooh, baby. Let me hit you with this super sexy swinging idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Are we going to do hot gaming news this week?
Yeah.
Did something happen?
Talk like Frank Sinatra. You're a real big leaguer when it comes to news, Van Zandt. Why don't we talk about the Xbox leak? Did y'all hear about that? Those crazy cats
baby.
at the FTC made a little bit of a whoopsie. Uh-oh. I don't think
Looks like Xbox is releasing a sexy new 2 terabyte model, diskless, and it's a cylinder. Ooh. If you ever wanted your gaming console to look like a cheap Alexa, well, we have good news for you, cats. Microsoft is shooting your direction.
Well, I don't know if you've heard about Phil Spencer's Clyde on this, but he says these are some old plans. They're yesterday's news, kittens. And that he'll reveal what's going to be happening in the news when they're ready to talk about it.
I got some hot gaming news, but I'm not going to play your weird voice games.
What? Well, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Oh, good.
Good, because I'm not going to do it.
Apparently, Sinatra would call a girl who dresses in flashy clothes a beetle?
I don't
Hey.
think I really dress in flashy clothes.
I don't know. You're wearing that full-length evening gown, and it's got pink taffeta and metallic stripes on it?
Yeah, you have smoking gloves on.
Yeah.
It's just my recording outfit. It's a professional uniform.
And let's talk about how wide the brim on her spring hat is.
It's to keep the noise down and dampen my noise levels. What do you want from me?
Wait, now we're just describing the mommy from that game again.
Oh,
Resident
Vampire
Evil.
Mommy.
Yeah, Resident Evil 8 mommy.
Yeah. Well, they did
Countess
one her after me.
Demiscu?
Yeah, Lady D.
Lady D. Hey, y'all hear about how Microsoft wants to buy Nintendo?
Well, I mean, okay, if you actually dig down and read those emails like a hip cat, you'll find out that it was one guy emailing Phil Spencer being like, it'd be really cool if we bought Nintendo. And he's like, it would be, but that's not going to happen because they have lots of money and they don't want us to buy them.
I noticed that as well. Like, there were so many clickbait headlines this week about Microsoft wanting to buy Nintendo, and it was like, okay. I mean, I email my friends about how I wish I could buy the Rays. That's not the Tampa Bay Rays. That's not a news story.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
It could be.
doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Write it up and send it somewhere.
In that FTC leak, there was a whole thing about the a handheld system. I'd love to see a portable Xbox. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, really? I don't really care about... I like Nintendo's little cornering of the market there, and I don't want stupid Microsoft or stupid Sony barreling in and fucking things up for my darling little precious Nintendo.
Doesn't Xbox have enough? Didn't they say that the next Elder Scrolls game is going to be an Xbox exclusive, or at least is it going to be on PlayStation?
Yeah,
I mean,
Xbox and PC probably. You know it'll come to fucking everything else eventually.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, also part of that leak was an Oblivion remaster and a Fallout 3 remaster.
Oh.
That's exciting. I would play Oblivion again. That game's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
I'm glad to see that those games are getting some love. I'd love to see a Morrowind remaster too. I wonder if they'll...
That would be amazing.
I would rather see a Morrowind kind of remake, you know? Like, it's a little... I tried to play it like a year ago, and it's okay, but it's just a little too old.
It's pretty chunky. Weirdly, I think the Xbox version's the best way to play that right now, unless you really go knee deep into mods.
Modding, yeah. I mean, if we were doing it on the show, I would play it. But just trying to play it myself, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, the systems are a little too dense.
I like the like no quest markers thing, you know? That's just an older game thing, but like I did enjoy like, hey, go fucking figure this out.
Dumbass.
I don't know. I'd get tired of it though. I mean, I'm playing New Vegas and Marty like, how do I go to Scorpion Gulch? Somebody fucking show me on YouTube. Me too stupid. Find Scorpion Gulch.
We're Gulch.
I almost Googled what is a gulch.
What is Gulch?
Found a little spot with some scorpions. I was like, is this a gulch? I can't find the laser pistol.
We're Ouch Ditch.
Did you pick up that awesome rifle from Vault 22? I went back and got that one. It's pretty good. It's just like a high-powered laser rifle, like more of a snipery. It's good.
No, Vault 22, and is that the one in Vegas, or is that...
That's the plant one.
Oh, no. Maybe I did and sold it. Who knows? I don't use a lot of laser weapons. I've been focusing on, like, ballistics, I think. I don't know if there's a difference. Is there a difference? Do you have to, like, take a laser skill to be
there's
good?
energy weapons.
Wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that high. I have 95. I have 100 in guns. I'm not backing out now.
This isn't what. Hey. No, I'm cutting this off right now. This isn't what we do in Fallout Talk.
Yeah.
This is hot gaming news, and I have some.
Okay, Vanessa.
Okay.
All right, Dame. I want to dig what you're trying to say.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Cyberpunk 20.
I can't do it without sounding like a creep.
Yeah, you can't. The game that won't die, Cyberpunk 2077, has gotten yet another major overhaul.
Yay!
This time, they have added vehicle combat,
Ooh.
where you can shoot out of your cars, and they've added a GTA-style police system where if you do a crime, the cops will chase you around.
Ooh. I thought that was always in the game. I never had it happen to me, but I had assumed if I started shooting people that the NCPD would come.
Well, you assumed wrong. I think if you did it and they were there, they would be upset about it, but they wouldn't, chase you down.
Oh. Wow.
The game was dumb.
I like it. I think it's a pretty good game. But that's my hot take. When is Idris Elba coming? When's that?
I believe that's out, isn't it?
Is that out today, Vanessa?
The reviews are out, that's for sure.
No. I don't bring you all the Cyberpunk news. I bring you some of the Cyberpunk news.
Well, if it's not out, it's out soon because the reviews are out and it seems like it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, Vanessa might have to have that smoking Keanu Reeves inside her head again.
Yeah, maybe we can both spend some time with Idris. What a safe and consensual way to do a threesome. Yep, that's all I got. The Cyberpunk. It's very interesting, isn't it? How they had this game and it wasn't really done, but they had to push it out. Now they keep trying to finish it, but they can't.
I think this is it. I think they said they're done.
Yeah, this is what they're doing.
All right, they did.
Now they're working on what? Witcher 4?
Probably.
Did we mention when we were discussing Elder Scrolls 6 that they said they're shooting for a 2026 release date? I think.
Wow, that's pretty fast.
Closer than sooner than I thought. Maybe they must have already been working on it.
I'm surprised that it's been 10 years now to the day. Well, I think we're missed by a day or two since the release of Grand Theft Auto 5, and they have not made a new Grand Theft Auto since then.
I think they were more focused on Grand Theft Auto Online. I think that's been making them a lot of money.
I just think it's weird. Like, we got in the 10 years before that, we got 4 games. And then now they're like, we'll just sit and let this money accumulate in a big pile. No need to make a new one.
Well, it's hard to make a game.
It is hard.
Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, didn't it?
Yes. So they did make.
That's been out so long; it's already gotten a remaster.
They did make a game. All right, let's move on. Matthew, I got a question for you, buddy.
Uh-oh.
What a ring-a-ding bear. Ring-a-ding, oh boy.
Growl.
You're platinum, pussycat. I got a whole list of these in front of me. Anyway.
Should I pull up my list of old-fashioned insults I used for my bard character in Dungeons and Dragons?
Are they
are they farmer?
60s Rat Pack terms?
No. They're real old.
Oh, well, I like my 60s Rat Pack terms. So how do you...
I just called you an afternoon farmer. That's a slap in the face.
Oh, wow. Well, Matthew, you're the original Major Bowes Amateur Hour loser.
Wow.
Now, scram.
I don't have a comeback for that. It was too strong. Too strong of a comeback. Too strong of a slam.
But how'd you level up, buddy?
Oh, boy. Didn't do much, that's for sure. What did I do this weekend? Watched a lot of sports. Drank a lot. Drank a lot.
Which sports did you watch? Was it a baseball sport?
Yeah, I've been watching baseball, watching the Rays. They're clinched the wild card for the American League East, or however that works. American League. First spot in the American League wild card. Could possibly overtake the Baltimore Orioles for the first place in the AL East. But
what are you talking about? The wild card?
Not.
The wild card never overtakes it. That's crazy talk.
That's not true, actually. We looked it up. I was talking about it with some friends, and wild cards have won the World Series 5 times.
Wow.
Watched a bunch of football. Paul and I went out and had some beers, and you know what? Cut all that. What did I do this weekend? Oh, I'll tell you what I've been doing. I have been reading some graphic novels. I've been reading the Adventure Zone.
Ooh.
Oh.
Graphic novels by Clint McElroy, but really by Griffin and all of them because of the podcast. It's just the podcast. It's fun. I had to take a trip out to Orlando last weekend, and I was listening to Adventure Zone, like the old balance arc of Adventure Zone in the car, because it's a real long drive. And when I got home, I was like, boy, I'd like to just be able to like read this. So I bought some of the graphic novels, one of which I already had and had to return. I didn't realize I already had it.
Oh, wow.
But they're fun. You know what? They're fun. And if you don't want to listen to 70 hours of podcast content to get the balance arc story, I think that they do a great job translating it to the comic book medium. And they're nice, and they're pretty hefty at about 200 pages apiece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of... There's some, like, filler in there, but they do some fan art. They have some, graphic novels these days, like from your big publishers, they won't put the covers in. They'll just do the books, and then at the back, usually, they'll have, like, a gallery of covers. Mm-hmm. But since Adventure Zone doesn't have covers, they have galleries of fan art in the backs of the books, and it's pretty neat.
Oh, that's cute.
And I have to assume that they paid those people for that, so that's a nice way to, like, give back to the community.
Yeah.
And they had to make a lot of little changes because they can't use the D&D setting.
Right.
So
yeah, because that first
characters' names changed.
First quest was based on a module.
Yeah, it's Minds of Phandelver or whatever. It's like the basic D&D 5e module. He changed it up a whole lot by the end of that first run. Like, it doesn't take super long it only takes a few episodes for Griffin to start veering off into his own territory. Mm-hmm. For sure. But anyway, so yeah, I checked those out. And you know what? I really do think they're great, and they're so cheap at like $11 on Amazon for a 200-page graphic novel. Really hard to beat that. Really hard. So now I've got the first 4. I'm going to buy the 5th one when I get to it, because I'm only on the 2nd one at this point. So I'll once I get closer to finishing up what I've got, I'll buy the 5th one. That came out this year, and at this point, I definitely see myself buying the last couple, 2 or 3. I don't know how many they're going to do. We'll see. But yeah, Adventure Zone. I loved that balance arc. It really was so good.
It kind of lost me by the end of the train. I like the train one.
I think the second one.
I know. When they started taking the story more seriously, I jetted.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, it loses some of its charm when it's more that they become, particularly Justin and Travis, do become more competent at the game, and it is less just like bumblefuckery. Mm-hmm. And so it does lose a bit of its charm. But I think that the story that Griffin puts together is really good overall. It's a really interesting and fun take on, a fantasy adventure. And I do think that the 3rd one, which is the racing one, the Gold Cliff racing one, Pedal to the Metal, I think it's called, mm-hmm. is one of the weaker ones.
And after that one was that the town that repeats?
No, the fourth one is Crystal Kingdom, which I think might be the best one. It's real tight and real good.
And I like that's the one with the arm stuff, which I liked. Where Magnus loses his arm was in Crystal because it gets turned to crystal.
Yeah, Merle loses his arm. Magnus chops it off, and that's Travis chopping his father's arm off, and then Clint legitimately, you could tell, like he was mad.
Yeah,
wow.
Like you cut my fucking character's arm off, dude. Anyway, and then I like the town that repeats. I can't remember what that one's called. It's I think one of the better ones, and then the sixth one, the Suffering Game, is. I wonder how that'll translate to a graphic novel. That'll be the next one that comes out, and I'm very interested because it's a little too repetitive and like too much of a downer. I feel like it could be trimmed up a little bit to be like just a little better. But anyway, and then I think it ends on a strong note. Though currently I'm still listening to it. And I'm listening to the Stolen Century, which is like the second to last arc, but it's not really the same. It's like it's a flashback. Yeah. It's not really a prequel, but it's a flashback to kind of the events that led up to what happened before the game started, and it's pretty boring. It's pretty fucking boring. They stop playing D&D and they start playing Dungeon World, and it's not just that. It's boring. I don't know. But then I remember liking the finale a lot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, I guess that's my level up. Adventure Zone. What about you, Vanessa?
Well, it's the specialist time of year, Matt, and for the first time in podcast history, you might actually be happy to hear about it. That's right. Series 16 of Taskmaster is here.
Oh, is it?
Ooh, already?
Mm-hmm. And for the very first time,
when did it come out? Today?
I think it'll be on tomorrow because it's the day after, right?
Yeah, it'll be on tomorrow on YouTube in North America for everybody to see and enjoy if you're in North America and have access to YouTube.
Yay, I have both those things.
And when we say tomorrow, we mean that by the time this is aired, it's already been on.
So it'll be out on Friday. So that'll be nice. It'll be a nice little Friday night. Something for me to put on.
Yeah. For those of us in the United Kingdom, we've already had the opportunity to watch it. And it was great. Great cast. I was very excited to see Sue Perkins, who you may know as the other half of Mel and Sue.
Oh, that's Rashida Jones.
No, that's Ann Perkins.
Sue Perkins used to host Bake Off with Mel Gilroy. And Lucy Beaumont, who I find very, very funny. And Julian Cleary, who's Johnny's favorite comedian.
Well, I don't recognize any of those names, but that's okay.
Who's Julian Cleary?
He's one of those old gay men, Johnny. You know.
Oh.
You're senior citizens of your community.
Well, that's good.
One of those quippy queers. Is that acceptable to say?
No.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, it is. The gays took queer back, so now we're allowed to use it.
That's for us.
Homosexual bon vivants. No, he's very funny as well, and he doesn't do a lot of television performances anymore, so it's cool to see him. They always seem to have a sort of couple elder statesmen, someone you've never heard of, and then someone who's like super hot right now.
I've never heard of any of them. They do definitely always have one old white dude every single season. I think that I hated it in every season until like the last season when the old white dude really charmed me and I was like, oh, maybe I like this guy. Well, and also Johnny Vegas, but he wasn't in the elder statesman old white guy category. He was over in the hot up and comer category. You know, the drunk person that doesn't know where they are category.
Yeah. Alex, what do I do? Where am I, Alex?
Hey, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Do you know that it's the 21st?
Yes, I do.
Can I just burst your bubble now and tell you something that's probably going to make you unhappy?
All right.
I don't think Jim's going to show up for the bonus episode this month.
No, I know. Me neither. And that's not what I thought you were getting at, actually. With it being the 21st. I thought you were going to bring up, I can't say his last name. I'm afraid I'm going to butcher it. Demi...
Lovato?
What, that stupid video you sent this morning?
Yes, he did it every
Terrible.
year, and not this year. It's over. No
Good.
more 21st of September videos. The bonus episode this month was going to be Taskmaster, but we've lost Jim Banks, so I don't know. I guess we'll just do it without him. I can't really do it without him. I'm gonna have to pick something else to do.
Is there another water-based horror movie you're interested in doing?
Are there any water-based Stephen King horror movies?
That's a great idea. We should totally do like a Stephen King movie and just stick it to him. Like, you snooze, you lose, sucker.
Sucker!
That's what happens. Yeah. Downtown Brown, all of this. This is nonsense. Why are we talking about scheduling on my level up?
I mean, I was bored, so I figured I'd talk about something boring.
Oh, Johnny. You hear the way I'm treated?
Yes.
It's not right. It's not right. I also watched Ahsoka up through episode 6, which at the time of recording is all that's out.
What?
And
you said you didn't like it. You said you watched the first episode and you hated it.
Yeah. I watched the rest of them and I still didn't like it. Yep. I think that because I didn't watch the cartoon, I have no connection to these characters.
Mm-hmm.
But I was happy to see, is his name Lars? Lars Mikkelsen? Lance Mikkelsen?
Mads?
It's not Mads. It's his brother.
Oh.
Is it his brother?
Yeah.
Wow. How do you feel about seeing Ray Stevenson in his last role?
I guess okay.
Is
I
that
like Santa Claus Sith.
Is that
Yeah.
Sexy Beast?
He played the character the actor that Vanessa's talking about is playing Thrawn, the originally introduced in the books, then made legend, then brought into Star Wars Rebels, and now in live action.
Yeah.
It's Thrawn. He
Lars
looked like a
Mikkelsen.
Smurf.
No, I was thinking of Ray Winstone. That's Sexy Beast.
What about this though, Vanessa? So I was out having some beers watching baseball with Paul last night, and Bannon was at home and he was watching the new episode of Ahsoka, and he was texting me. My brother loves particularly that original trilogy of Star Wars novels, the Heir to the Empire stuff.
Oh yeah.
But then he went on to read, I don't know, 50 fucking Star Wars novels.
Mm-hmm.
Which one was Thrawn from?
Thrawn was Heir to the Empire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was Heir to the Empire.
And then he was decannoned, and then he was recannoned, because everyone missed him very much.
Mm-hmm. He's a good character, though. But my brother was blowing me up like, oh, I'm so excited. He's like, I feel like a 12-year-old boy again. Like, I've waited for this, like, fucking most of my life. He really loves Thrawn, which is cool. I get it. It's like nostalgia mixed with, like, something new. I was very happy for him. So I went home and flipped on the new episode of Ahsoka, and then I was texting him. I was like, I'm going to live tweet this episode at you, and I just talked shit about it the whole time. And the last thing I said to him, I was like, oh, look, it's Thrawn. When are they going to take him to squeeze out the blueberry juice? And I sent him a gif of them of the Oompa Loompas rolling the girl away. Like, both
So
Thrawn and Hera,
mean.
like, they just don't look good. They just look like painted people. Like, there's no, like, color gradation or something. I don't know, but they don't look good.
Well, I do think that Lars Mikkelsen is a fine actor, and so I was happy to see him in this show.
Yeah, so I watched it last night, and let me just put this out there. Big spoiler for anybody that is not watching it, so plug your little ears here. When Sabine finds Ezra, I just had the biggest feeling of, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, Sabine, I have not been able to connect with as a character. And I really think it's because they linger on these characters like reunion scenes. But I don't know these characters, and so it means nothing to me that they are
So it's like Kingdom Hearts.
Yep. I think it's because they are written like cartoons where everyone has to like exposit and say what they're feeling.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever allowed to just like, you're never allowed to just like understand something from like looking at an actor. And it really, really fucking bugs me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Well, I'm glad you're watching it though. Like, you know, like I imagine at this point you feel the same way I do, which is that I'm going to finish it.
Yeah, I'll finish it.
I'm not blown away by this.
Mm-hmm. I think that
when Andor season 2.
When you said that I hated it, that was a little bit strong. I don't hate it. It's
I'm
fine.
almost positive that that's what you said.
Maybe I
thought
did.
You said I watched episode 1 of Ahsoka. I hated it.
Well, let's rewind the tape. I watched episode 1 of Ahsoka and I hated it.
Well, I'm in Google in our Hangout.
Oh.
Did y'all see that Hangout's got a big fat update today and it like looks different and stuff?
No, I haven't really.
Thought they were going to kill it.
Oh yeah. Well, but isn't it now Google Spaces or something?
Well, no, you're right. It's not Hangouts anymore. It's Chat, right? But it's been that for a while. Well, anyway, exciting news about Taskmaster Season 16. Thank you for sharing that, Vanessa. I'm looking forward to watching that. That'll be a great late night. Matthew, like, has had a couple of drinks, was ready to stop thinking about things and dealing with things and just, like, I just want to laugh for fucking 30 minutes, please.
Lads and lasses and everyone else who listens to this show, what a wonderful night. I have waited so long for someone to say thank you for telling me about Taskmaster, and now it's happened. This is great.
I should have watched Fast X last night, so I actually had something to talk about for my level up.
Matt, how did you level up?
How does it feel, Johnny?
Not
How
great.
does it
I
feel?
gotta say, not great.
Okay. Johnny, how did you level up?
Well, there's actually one that sort of links right back to Matthew's level up. I was watching, while working, I had YouTube essayists on, and I came upon one. Her name is Sarah Z, or Sarah Z. I think she's Canadian. And she had one about the rise and fall of the McElroy fan community. And, and I learned a lot about
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's.
I would, if just sidebar, send me that.
Okay. Yeah, it was good. I'm glad. Okay, there's two things I'm glad about. One, I'm glad I am not in a fan community. And two,
yes, you are.
Well, not.
We met in a fan community.
Yeah, but I'm not in there anymore.
We met.
I am not
right,
in there anymore. I left
really?
all those. Yeah, a long time ago. I kind of dropped out of Facebook pretty much.
I remember.
There was a and also number two, I'm glad that I'm not famous enough so that some of the shitty things that I say don't get like taken and just repeated with no context, so people can like look at me in a big hate circle like they did with Travis McElroy.
Poor Travis.
Oh, jeez.
Travis is like, I like Travis McElroy. He's kind of the least funny of the three.
I think,
which is tough.
His bits are my favorite though, like stuff like Play Along at Home. I think he tries harder, and
I think he tries a lot harder, and often it really works. But I think he's better off when he's just fucking being like the straight guy, and not. But riffing.
Weirdly, I'm the baby brother of three brothers, and I identify more with how he annoys the other brothers. So I do like that dynamic for sure.
I'm vibing on what you're saying there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like they all have a bit of that, to be honest with you. Like they all like driving each other crazy.
But I do. I don't know. I think that it can be really tough to be that public, and yeah, it just gets hard when you're, trying to be a decent person, but also you're a messed up, shitty person, because we all are. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
So tell me more about this documentary. I'm or whatever it was. Tell me more. I'm interested.
Video essay. I know that
I know that the fan, fanverse, fan space really imploded, and particularly people started going after like the wives and the fucking mothers, and it got weird. Mostly
about like the drop from the end of Balance, because Balance was so popular. The Adventure Zone was such a big thing. To Amnesty, which is kind of some people really liked it, but it wasn't as it didn't catch on. And then especially Graduation, which was like the big one that was super fan divisive, and I don't know, it just
didn't Travis DM Graduation?
Yes, yeah, that's why.
After Balance, I start their arcs, and then I never make it more than like 10 episodes before I just forget it.
And I think it was just going to be really hard to follow up Balance, which, as they say many times, was an accidental good show. Like, they weren't expecting it to be dramatic and emotional and stuff. And it's always going to be, hard to follow up on that.
It was a real lightning in the bottle scenario. And it's kind of unfortunate because it really was my very favorite D&D actual play thing going on, and it's it's not their fault. They wrapped Balance up. They had a good place to stop it, but and I'm glad they did, but then just everything they've done since, they just can't capture it again. Part of it, honestly, I think part of it was Justin McElroy nailing that fucking Taco the Wizard. That goofy character really just became absolutely beloved by millions of people. And then they had to be like, all right, well, we're not doing this anymore. And nothing that any of them have come up with since has been nearly as charming. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't want to try and just remake the same character. So he keeps trying out different things, and just it never really works.
But so many pieces of media fall victim to that. Shows that will have a really good season, and then the other seasons aren't quite as strong.
Yeah, Lost.
Yeah. But you don't ditch all your characters and setting, and it's season 2 is usually not an all new something, because that I wish that they could have figured out a way to keep Balance going. Honestly, it was too good. It was good, and it's a good story. It had a good ending, but I don't know, nothing they've put out on that thing since has come close.
I wouldn't want to be that success. Oh yeah, a big part of it is about the parasocial nature of things, and I know that's kind of been a buzzword the past couple of years on the internet, but I think this, and there's one that Lindsay Ellis did that really touches on a lot of the same things, is when you get parasocially attached to a podcast host or any of those YouTubers that are we're all a bunch of friends, I'm your good friend Johnny, kind of thing. You start seeing them as your best friend. And she talks about how in live shows, the notorious worst live show ever was people basically trying to audition to be the fourth McElroy brother.
Right.
And, and getting upset and people just getting upset when the person that you're trying to impress and make love you doesn't know you, because it's a one-sided thing.
I mean, I remember that. I remember they instituted rules. They started getting questions in advance and stuff like that, because it got weird. It did. People got up there and started trying to do bits, and it's nobody wants random audience members bit. Have some self-awareness. But that's on the fucking fans. That's not on the McElroys. And while I'm not going to sit here and say parasocial relationships is a made up bullshit buzzword. These people don't know what they're fucking doing. It wasn't. They're not predators. They weren't fucking planning it out. Let's say we're their best friends, and then they'll fucking fall in love with us. It was a joke. It was a joke.
No. And
I'm your best friend person that I've never met.
The documentary is by someone who really liked the McElroy, so it's not
I mean, I still like the McElroys.
And I still do.
Still listen to Mabim Bam.
Yeah,
I still think it's a funny show.
Yeah, but
I'll
the other
occasionally.
The downside of the parasocial thing is if they do something that upsets you or really hurts you, you'll feel genuinely betrayed. Like a friend of yours did something bad, and so it'll turn into this weird negative parasocial thing where like this person has become your enemy, and it's really interesting to think about how that can shift. And so
that's interesting stuff. I'm very interested in checking that out.
A lot of her and Lady Emily is her co-writer. A lot of their stuff is really interesting and worth checking out. There was one on Homestuck where it's just her getting to arguments with the creator, but I still don't exactly know what Homestuck is because it's like
a webcomic.
It's like Snapchat. It's one of those things where if you're born before 1980 and you try to look at it,
Homestuck out right now.
A gem flashes in your hand. And like people come
the hunters come and take you away.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've tried to read Homestuck. It's still available. It's online. It's just, I think it probably started rough and then got good, and I couldn't get through the rough start.
Yeah. And so that's basically what I did. I picked up. Did I pick up another game? I reinstalled. Or I got the PC version of Watch Dogs Legion, but I did uninstall that because I wanted to finish Borderlands 3 first. And even though I have like...
and Jim just constantly playing 100 games.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Who has the time for these things?
It's true. I do play 100
I think I'm
games.
way ahead in Fallout.
Yeah.
But I made sure
though.
to play up. Anyway, that's. I think we've had a good discussion. I don't really need to grasp for
we're 45 minutes in.
So let's move on. Hey, cats and kittens, why don't we swing on over to the quest log? That's the most happening place on this here podcast. We got some jazz here by noted jazzer MVZ, most valuable Z-Boyd.
Quest log.
Welcome to the quest log. I'm your stand-up comic, Vanessa.
Yay! Are you an insult comic?
Well, what kind of stand-up did, like, women in the 60s do? They would be like...
They didn't.
Oh, come on. Joan Rivers, she was real stand-up-y.
Yeah.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Mm-hmm.
Did that come back? I thought it did.
I asked my husband for some
season
new...
of that's out? I need to watch it.
I asked my husband for some new shoes, and he said, "Why? You never leave the house anyway."
Are you doing, what's her name, Carol Burnett? No.
I don't know what I'm doing.
There's lots of ladies
was in
stand up in the 60s
and was in Scrooged as the fairy.
Carol Kane?
Carol Kane. Are you
No,
doing Carol Kane?
No, that's
you're nailing
sorry.
Carol Kane.
Kane's the singer. What's her name?
Nobody knows, and there's no way that we can
Something
find out.
Kane.
So let's move on.
She's in Star Trek Strange New Worlds now.
Is she?
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
She's like their science officer or their like main engineer.
Wait,
It's
it is
great.
Carol Kane. Okay. Who am I thinking of? Yes, her name's
Carol Channing.
Yeah.
All right. So, it's finally time to reach the titular New Vegas.
Yay!
Titular.
The first thing we got to do is get access. So, how'd you do it? How'd you do it, guys?
How'd you get access? Oh yeah,
I didn't realize. I thought it was like money, so I didn't realize it was just a credit check because I had like 9,000 caps at this point. So I went and bought a passport from Mick and Ralph.
How much was that?
$500.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I refused to spend any money on this, and in fact, I had to go level up. I think I mentioned this last week. I had to go get a level up and bump my speech up some so I could pass the check to meet the king, And then I just did the king quests. And at the end, you can ask him for a passport. He'll
true.
give it to you.
But
Sorry, Johnny, go ahead.
No, I'm pointing at you.
I just had enough money to pass the credit check, so I didn't have to pay anything or call in any favors.
I did by the time I was done getting my level up and doing the king quests, but I did not when I first showed up in town. Oop, almost put my fucking e-cigarette in the sweet spot again. You
Don't
see? It's
do
just
it.
right there.
Don't
you need
do
a little
it.
nest. You need a little caddy. Gonna find one. So when we finally pass through those New Vegas gates, I actually love the way it does this. It blasts you with that Dean Martin opening horn.
Blue
The very start of Kick in the Head, which if you've ever seen the original Ocean's 11, he plays every single time he's on screen. I swear.
Oh, really?
He's like a lounge guy who's being recruited for this heist by Frank Sinatra as Frank Ocean. And every time you see him, he's playing that song. It's hilarious.
How lucky could one guy be? I
kissed her.
I kissed her and she kissed
She
me.
kissed me.
Like the fellow
sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the
Hole in the
boat?
boat.
Great song.
I got a Dean Martin album for my birthday in like 99 or something, and I listened to the heck out of that. That was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we have on our right the seedy site of Gomorrah with their adult entertainers in the sidewalk enticing you to come in. And on the left you have the Lucky 38, which no one ever goes into. And no one ever comes out of.
Ooh.
Or do they?
Because who rolls up right then?
Our best friend Victor!
Yay! Is he finally ready to join our party?
No, partner.
He's just been working for Mr. House this whole time, hasn't he? I didn't know robots could lie.
I didn't know about that, but Mr. House sure would like to meet you, so just roll on up there to the Lucky 38. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
I wonder if you're a dick to Victor the whole game before this point, does Mr. House refuse to meet with you? Is he like, no way, this guy hates robots and I'm a robot?
I don't know. I don't think so, but it's possible because I would never be a dick to Victor, so I've just never experienced that.
Well, I just spoiled it, but what do we find inside the Lucky 38?
We go into the Lucky 38. It's an abandoned casino based off the Stratosphere in Las Vegas. I've been there. They have a what's it called? A launch ride at the very top. One of those things that like shoots you up into the air. You sit in the seat and your little legs dangle and your little arms dangle. Then you go swoosh up a pole and then bounce up and down and then lowers you down to the ground. I went on that. It was super fun.
Are these real casinos?
No, but they're all kind of riffs on real casinos, right?
Yeah.
Like, Stratosphere, the Gomorrah is basically the Sahara. I want to say it looks a lot like the Sahara.
The White Glove Society is more like a Luxor or not Luxor. Bellagio.
Yeah, Ultra Lux.
Ultra Lux. So we head upstairs, and in Mr. House's penthouse, I guess the first person we see is a lady robot.
Ooh, Jane,
and she's like, "Oh, hi, honey. Welcome to the penthouse. I'm here to see to all of Mr. House's needs, if you know what I mean."
And you're like, wait, does he have sex with your robot? And she's like, oh, a robot never kisses and tells, sugar.
I'll never tell. And then we also meet Mr. House himself, kind of.
He's a robot.
Well, he's a computer screen.
Yeah. No, but he's not a person.
Have you talked to him about that?
Before us as a person.
Yeah, I would ask him about that. Because I believe
guess you're right. He does say that he has, but I'm sure he's a brain in a jar.
Nope.
Oh, cool. Thanks for spoiling that for me.
Well, all I'm saying is he's not a brain in a jar. How is that spoiling?
It's not going to matter because I'm going to kill him either way.
Wow. Yeah, so he is not really happy to see us. He's kind of neutral to see us. And he's like, "Hey, remember how you were supposed to bring me that platinum chip? Why don't you do that? Because that's your job." And you're like, Benny,
I don't think he puts it like that.
Benny shot me in the head. Well, how do you think he puts it, Matt?
Well, he's just like, Benny betrayed me and took the platinum chip from you, and I would like you to retrieve it.
Yeah. Go.
And retrieve it I did.
Yeah. And he really gives us sort of carte blanche as to how to retrieve the platinum chip. He gives us...
I let the great Kahns go when I ran into them in the desert because they were just hired thugs. And also, Benny cheated them too. Mm-hmm. But I don't know about the rest of y'all. Benny ain't making it out of this fucking game alive for me.
Whoa.
Nobody shoots Vanessa 3 and gets away with it, okay?
Yeah, that's
It's a hard
fair.
and fast rule.
That's fair. Yeah, so Mr. House sort of gives us some tips. He's like, Benny is over at the Tops Casino. He is the head of the chairman who run the Tops. And
Are these guys all like Frank Sinatra's? Like the Kings are all Elvis Presley's?
yeah, they're sort of wannabe old style Rat Pack kind of dudes.
This stuff is legitimately like exactly what I hate about the Fallout series. Like this is all the stuff that really just fucking turns me off.
Mm-hmm. And there's even a pretty one-for-one Sammy Davis Jr. Hanging out there at one point. Yep.
Oh, yeah. I did his whole quest line. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, his quest line?
His quest line.
I haven't gone back since I did Ring-a-Ding. I wonder if what happens if I go back in.
Ring-a-ding-ding. Well, it depends on what you did. Mr. House suggests to us that we might confront Benny in public and take him by surprise. And, in fact, if we head over to the casino, we find that he's just kind of hanging out there in the middle of the casino with all his pals and friends.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not muck around. Let's go see Benny and see what we can see. Johnny.
Yeah.
Tell me about going to see Benny.
All right. So Benny is a man. And I am a woman. Mm-hmm. Well, not I. Vanessa too
is a woman.
And I thought about doing the Vanessa 1 path. I do know, I don't want to spoil the Vanessa 1 path, but I tried it. Okay, so I actually played through this a few times. I wanted to see sort of the broad spectrum of results you could get out of this scenario. And see one that I was most comfortable exploring. And I actually ended up doing the scenario that I did in my gay through.
Oh.
So that is that I went up to the suite. He's like, oh, let's talk about it somewhere private. I was like, okay, but don't bring your guards. I don't want any of those guards here. He's like, all right, let's go talk about it. And so we started talking, and he's like, look, how about you and me, we take over the strip, kid? You and I, we could really go somewhere. You know what you're doing. He asked me how I survived. I sort of explained all that. He's like, oh, well, it looks like how you're on House's inside. We could use that to take over the whole of New Vegas, baby.
Wow.
And he's like, here's your first commission. Here's 200 caps. Meet me downstairs in a few, and we'll start talking about taking over the world. And I was like, oh, that's great. So then I was like freshening up in the mirror, doing my makeup, brushing my hair, then washing my hands. And then I realized I should do my makeup a little bit more, but I had to wash my hands again.
Right. Wash.
So then as I was doing this, and I totally forgot from my gay through that this would happen, suddenly a bunch of Chaimen guards will run into the room and start shooting at you. But I was like I was in the back room, and let's just say that Veronica and the dog just destroyed them. Like,
wow.
I come out and I was like, they're just all in pieces around. I was like, what? And so then I used the intercom and I was like, hey Benny, why don't you stay right there? I gotta have some words with you. He's like, Adonies! And he ran away.
Oh,
so you can't actually work for Benny?
I don't know.
He just betrays you immediately?
I think.
Why do you think? What else? Like, what if you hadn't taken so long?
No, I think you're right. I think there is no. I don't think that actually goes anywhere. The Benny plot. I don't think there's a way.
I mean, it's not shocking that the guy that betrayed you and like shot you in the head.
Betrayed you. Yeah, someone gets real sassy about that later, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So what about you two?
Well, I, of course, love nothing more than when a man nags me. I've talked about it before with Handsome Jack in the Borderlands series. I've talked about it with someone, I'm sure. What other villains have I been in love with? Seymour Guado. I was in love with him.
That's true.
Listeners, get ready to feel real fucking sad about Vanessa.
The Justin Trudeau from Final Fantasy 12, maybe?
Yeah, Justin Trudeau. The history's greatest villain, Justin Trudeau. From
Final Fantasy 12, the guy who was like a long-haired Trudeau.
I don't remember him, but I'm
He's
sure I love him.
How could anybody remember anything that happens in that game?
Yeah.
I love that game.
Other than, I'm Captain Bosch.
I was just going to say that's the one part I remember. So I ran up to Benny, and I was like, hey, stud, using the Black Widow commands, like, hey, stud, we didn't finish our conversation. And he's like, you making a pass at me? I'm way out of your league. And I'm like, oh, yeah? Well, is it wrong to want a guy who would shoot me in the head? That's a direct
He's
line.
like, you're one kind of naughty kitten.
Yeah. And then I took him upstairs, and
I love that he's generally like, you are super fucked up. What are you talking about?
Yeah. He very much was like, you're insane. And then I just kept coming on to him, and he's like, well, I'm just a man. At the end of the day, there's only so much I can say no to. So we went upstairs. And then you have the opportunity to say, like, no, I want to question you, or just to attack him. Or you can say to him, let's see what you've been hiding under that checkered suit. And in parentheses, the game will say, have sex with Benny, just to make it very clear.
I hope you
what
took
it
a
is
screenshot
that's going to
of
happen.
that.
I did.
Good.
So I had sex with Benny. You don't see it.
Mm-hmm. You hear quite a lot of it. I was surprised.
You hear quite a lot of it. You hear Benny say something along the lines of, nice maracas, giving a shake for me. Hello. And then he whispers, wow, you really, you're aces, kid. You wore me out. Come here for a cuddle. He falls fast asleep. And then while he's sleeping, you have a little prompt. And the prompt is, kill Benny in his sleep? So I did.
Vanessa! Did you lose karma for that or gain karma?
Nope.
Oh, well,
I don't
good.
think either. I think it was a pretty neutral act. And then the camera comes to, and he's lying dead in his bed. I took his checkered suit off and put it on myself and jumped up and down on the bed.
That's great.
Yeah. Matt, what did you do?
Listen, I am starting to see the drawback of all of us playing Vanessa. I was playing this game. I've never played this game. And I was like, what are these crazy prompts? I have this Black Widow thing, which I took because the internet told me to, basically. The internet was like, you basically mostly fight men, so go ahead and take that Black Widow perk. And I started getting these crazy prompts and was like, well, we gotta see where this fucking goes. So I also ended up in fucking Benny's. It wasn't Benny's room. Actually, I'll tell you what. To start, I went to Benny's room. Mm-hmm. I went to Benny's room. He wasn't there. I searched it. I found a back room. I found a robot called Yes Man.
Ooh.
And Yes Man described...
Sorry, voiced by Canada's own Dave Foley.
Voiced by Dave Foley. And Yes Man described a plot that Benny was hatching to essentially take over for Mr. House. I guess maybe I don't fully understand it, but he wants to kill Mr. House and... Excuse me. He wants to kill Mr. House and replace him with this Yes Man Securitron that he has hacked. And,
who can only say yes to things.
Yeah. Because Benny didn't program him to say no.
So, which I was like, I like this idea. So I got the lowdown on Benny's plan, and then there's some some tunnels or like hallways, security hatches behind all of this, and I went and hid in there for about 24 hours. Coming out only to check to see if Benny was in his room, and he never was.
Oh.
Because my plan was to just ambush him in his room and kill him.
That makes sense.
But I got bored and frustrated, so I said, fuck it. And I went and found Benny on the casino floor. And then I started getting all of these Black Widow prompts and was like, perfect. This will be fun and interesting for the show. Nobody else will have this weird combination that I have. So I went up to the room with him and I got him to divulge his plan. And then, unlike the two of you, I just pulled out my silenced pistol and shot him in the fucking face.
Wow.
Once he told me everything that I wanted to know, I executed him gangland style because fuck Benny, ain't no one getting away with shooting Vanessa 3 in the head. That's for damn sure.
You didn't even
Shoot
give
Vanessa
him
3.
one night of pleasure before his death?
No, that's not Vanessa 3's way. Vanessa 3 is slowly becoming more bloodthirsty as this game goes on. I find I like being a dick more than being nice.
I think being a jerk in this game is more fun than in a lot of the other games we've played.
I'm still being nice to people I like.
Yeah.
And helping out like good people. But when I meet shitty people, I am fucking them over hard. Which is exactly what I did for the rest of this chunker, which was go into each of these casinos and fuck over everyone.
Ooh, I want to hear more about that. Okay, here is a confession about my gay through. Vanessa.
Yes.
I did basically the same thing as the first time. I accidentally let Benny go and had him betray me. However, in the first time I played it, I didn't find the Yes Man robot.
Wow.
So I was just continuing doing because you can keep going even if you don't find him. You get a lot of quests from Mr. House and the other casinos, so you can keep going and you don't have to find Yes Man here. And I think that's really interesting that like finding him this early in the game really changes things and gives you like a whole kind of. I almost like the way that I played.
The wild card quests.
Yeah, I didn't have any of those wild card quests at all. So it's really interesting to sort of see how the game can go. When I played it, it was really more self-motivated. I didn't have this like string of things to do, except for
there's like
the house quest.
There's like 4 quests like that you can get. There's an NCR version, a Yes Man version, a House version, and a Legion version.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I am keeping my options open. I haven't committed to anything yet other than fucking over the Legion because, come on. I'm not playing that bloodthirsty. But I've been keeping my options open. But, I like that Yes Man. I like that Yes Man quest. What if I become the king of Vegas? Excuse me, the queen of Vegas.
Now, I did the house version last time, so I'm not going to do that this time. But I don't know, if you're doing wild card, then maybe I should try a different approach.
Just don't do the Legion. We don't need it. All right? Nobody's going to enjoy listening to you talk about being a fascist and crucifying people.
No, and Vanessa wouldn't do that.
Vanessa
we'll talk about
do that.
Other choices that Vanessa wouldn't do in a bit. Because I have to reload a save. Basically, this morning I made a mistake. All right.
So we all killed Benny, huh? Well,
no.
Fuck Benny.
First of all, I
Not
didn't.
Johnny.
He is still alive. He has run off, according...
he ran.
Yeah, so I went and talked to Yes Man this time, and he's like, oh, yeah, Benny, I think he ran off to Fortification Hill, because that's going to be the only other place that works with this platinum chip. And I'm like, well, what does the platinum chip do? He's like, oh, yeah, it's interesting. It controls all the... It can upgrade all the Securitrons and also control all the Securitrons. So that seems like a big... Like all of them around Vegas will become your servants. Like it basically makes a robot army, but the Fortification Hill one upgrades them to make them even stronger.
Wow.
I've already played through that quest.
Oh, okay.
I might finish this game super early.
That's fine. There's a lot of DLC and stuff you can do.
I'm doing the Matt thing where, like, now that I'm enjoying the game, I'm addicted to it and I'm playing it a lot. And then I will get tired of it in like a week. And then the last like two chunkles, the last like two.
I can hear him.
I can't hear.
Yeah, I think that's a Johnny problem.
That's a you problem.
My internet connection is unstable.
Oh,
okay
no. Okay.
Anyway, the last two chunkers of the game, I'll be scrambling to catch up again. I'll wait until the last day. Oh, that's how Matt does things. You know, I'll get there. Mm-hmm. I broke my streak, though. I'm pretty disappointed in myself.
What streak?
Well, I had been finishing all the games for the show, like a good boy.
Oh.
But I didn't finish Lunar. I'm sick.
Well, now's your chance for redemption.
Mm-hmm.
It's still on my phone, but, like, I just don't really care.
Yeah.
I get it. I got the gist.
Yeah. I will say I did enjoy the ending because it gives you so much time to walk around and talk to people and be like, you did it. You're the greatest boy.
The type of thing I never do.
I love that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Vanessa, in your notes, it says afterwards we received some invitations.
We do receive some invitations, not engraved invitations, I wouldn't say. But when I was leaving the casino, after having given Benny a grande mort, get it? Get it?
Oh, no. It's not, Vanessa, it's not good. I mean, it was good content for the podcast, but, like, come on. You're better than that. You know? Like, have some self-respect.
What? But I can't respect myself.
I can't believe you slept with Benny.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Listen up, pussycat. You really let me down.
I will say that I don't believe that Benny is the worst person I slept with in this game so far, but that's for next chunker.
Wow. Oh, also, I wanted to see what happens if you sleep with Benny and don't kill him, and he like leaves you a note and runs off to Fortification Hill.
Typical. Of course he does.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me want him more.
He's like, it was a great time, little pussycat, but I gotta go Scramsville.
Ugh. They never stay.
Aww.
They always come and they always go.
Hey, Benny? Yeah, doll? Nobody walks out on me! But, was it Sweetie? Was it, don't you sweetie me, you son of a bitch?
Mm-hmm.
Hacha!
I don't know what's happening right now.
Whoopee!
Johnny is referencing the Great American Stage Play Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And by play, I mean musical.
Sweetheart. Don't you sweetheart me, you son of a bitch.
As I left the casino, I was approached by a dapper-looking man in a fedora, and he was like, "Awe, Drew de Kaiser."
Was it
Caesar...
Vulpes, or did you kill Vulpes back in that
I
one
killed
town?
Vulpes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I did see that in the
Nipton.
guide that it could be Vulpes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
did
also killed Vulpes.
kill him with a grenade launcher.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
So I never even spoke to him. It was just
I have a grenade launcher, and I've never used it. Is it any good?
It took care of Vulpes real good.
Let's talk
it can
weapons.
do
I got an assault carbine, and so it's like a fully automatic rifle, and even though its damage isn't high, its DPS is really fucking high, and things are going great for me these days. Also, I have like 700 bullets for it, because bullets don't weigh anything.
Yeah.
Makes my life a lot easier. You do have to be kind of close, but you know, that is what it is.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out how to mod weapons. I gotta look into that.
Oh, I did figure out how to
There's
do it,
mod
Johnny.
bench. Oh, you can do it in the Pip-Boy.
Yeah, it's not a bench. You just go to the weapon, and then I think on Xbox
X
you hit
or
like,
Y.
yeah, or right button or something, and it will show you what mods you can put on it.
I have been noticing mods, but I still haven't found any for any guns that I really use. I saw like an extended mag for the 10mm submachine gun, which I do keep and have pulled out. But now that I've got this carbine, like I don't fuck with anything. Just fucking aim for the head, hit them with 4 bullets in one shot, watch their heads explode.
My primary weapon right now is called Rat Slayer. It is a silenced night scope sniper rifle.
Damn.
And I found it in a cave full of rats.
Can you mark that on my map for me, please?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I want to.
You know what? I'm just
Done.
gonna Google. I'm gonna Google Rat Slayer, New Vegas Rat Slayer, and then next time I play, I'll have it in my Chrome.
That's a very smart idea. Yeah,
Rat Slayer location, perfect.
Doesn't have a huge amount of damage, but it's very quiet and very fun.
I prefer sniper rifles and sneaking, but I just haven't found the loadout for that in this game. So even though I do have like a pretty high sneak, I don't really sneak. I just my strategy now is to get things attention and then fall back behind Rex and Arcade Ganon and let them bite and shoot at it and just kind of wait and see what happens, because you get XP either way, right? So I don't actually have to fight a lot of things. And then if it makes it through Rex and rushes Arcade, then I'll start shooting it. Also, I picked up Arcade Ganon. How do you make him like you? He won't talk to me.
Just spend a lot of time with him and
kill a lot. Yeah, kill a lot of Legion.
I took him with me to Legion headquarters, and he did get mad and was like, "You're fucking kidding me, right?" And I was like, "Listen, we're just gonna listen to what this fucker has to say, and then we're gonna fuck him over." And he was like, "Best answer you could have given."
fully on board. Let's do it.
I guess I should be saving that for next week or the week after when we get to it.
So this guy, he gives me a little coin. He's like, "Here's the mark of Caesar. Everything you've done, including blowing up Vulpes with a grenade launcher, is forgiven. Our dumb assassins won't come after you anymore. We forgive you. Just come see Caesar at your convenience. He really wants to meet you because he thinks you're super cool." And I also was approached by an NCR soldier, and he's like, "Hey, we have a little embassy at the end of the strip here. Please go see the ambassador."
Oh yeah, I forgot to do that.
That's 2
I did that, and then I
fine
did
invitations.
I did that, and then I went and did the whole quest for that, but I haven't turned it in because I don't want to side with the NCR, and I'm afraid if I turn it in, they'll be like, "You're on our side now." Like, nah, I'm gonna fuck you over.
Yeah, there is next week, towards the end of the chunker, we'll definitely be risking kind of walking you into a path. locking yous into a path. But not yet. So, we can just head off and respond to our summons, or we can hang around a little bit. Have some fun on the Vegas Strip. And you know me, I love fun.
Well, and Yes Man, this time I did get the Yes Man quest. He's like, you should learn about, like, the 3 families here on the Strip, right? Like, see
he wants you to learn about the families, and he wants you to learn about the Kahns, the Boomers, the BrotherHood.
So I took this...
He just wants you to learn about everyone.
Yeah, so I took this as a moment to really get to know the families and see if I want them eradicated or not.
I want them all eradicated.
So is that what you mean by fun on the Strip, Vanessa?
I guess it depends on your definition of fun. So we've already been to the top.
Oh, wait, we're supposed to do the Boomers this time?
Yeah, I also didn't realize the Boomers were part of this week.
Well, okay.
I did it, but...
Well, I think that we should, we're already running pretty long.
Right.
So
is it
we'll
okay,
just,
since this is a gym edit, this isn't a downtown... Oh, actually, you go first, Vanessa, then I'll... Sorry.
I was just going to say, let's save the Boomers for next chunker.
Can I talk about the Omerta this chunker?
Yes, please do.
Yeah, that's in... What about...
Oh, you did say secure the cooperation of the Boomers. I missed that.
Yeah, no,
I did it.
That's my fault. I didn't do it. But...
It's nobody's fault, and it worked out for the best anyway.
Okay. But since this is a gym edit, I want to go on the craziest tangent I've gone on in a while, Vanessa.
Wow. This is a red letter event, Matt. Are you ready?
Why is my penis shrinking?
So, sometimes I like to give normies like you, like straightos, a little glimpse into the bear and big guy community, that part of the gay world.
I feel like we've gotten so many glimpses that we might as well be a part of it.
Yeah, sometimes people from that community will follow the Square Roots Twitter account, and I'll look at their profiles, and I have gotten quite a glimpse.
Yep. So... There's been a big scandal this week in the bear and big guy world.
Is it? Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it that there was a bear in Disney World and they had to shut down half of the Magic Kingdom for a day?
No, you sweet summer child. You'll wish.
That was the biggest bear story I heard this week.
It was a bear in Disneyland. Okay, so do you know what Orbeez are?
Orgies?
I know what Orbeez are. Orby guns?
What?
You're
guns?
mispronouncing orgy. I do know what an orgy is.
Okay, are they like... Okay, Matthew, tell me what they are, because I think yes, and I don't actually understand what they are.
My son is really into Orby guns. They're like little gel ball. They're kind of like paintballs, but they're like smaller and not paint, and they're like tiny little gel balls. Like my house is often filled with buckets and bowls full of water and Orby pellets. Like you have to they're like not freeze dry, but they come in a packet the size of like a dime bag, like the size of that big. And then you dump it into water, and then you've got 100,000 little Orby bullets. Connor has an Orby assault rifle and an Orby Uzi.
Now,
I think it's good for children to play with fake guns, because then they learn to respect guns.
Now, say that you wanted to make your tummy look bigger.
Oh, no.
No. So this guy...
Oh, my God. I'm going to throw up.
Took a glass, filled it with Orbeez, and then put some water in it and just drank the whole thing. And the gay fat internet has gone Orbeez insane. There's Orbeez memes everywhere. Everyone is like, look, oh, it's time for dinner. It's just a big picture of a bowl full of Orbeez.
Oh my God.
and
I have milk jugs full of Orbeez in my house.
You're ready to be a star.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. This guy's
they're biodegradable and like they're not like poisonous.
I wouldn't.
It's like a mix between like a Nerf gun and like a BB gun because they don't like hurt as bad as like a BB, obviously, which can like legitimately hurt you. But they fucking hurt. I tested it out one day and just like held a gun up to my hand and shot myself in the back of the hand, and I had a fucking welt.
Oh wow!
Oh no!
So
I didn't think it was gonna shoot that hard.
So basically, everyone was like, "How could you do this? All your followers are going to emulate you, and this is super dangerous." And did we just watch his suicide video? This guy has been doing like stunt eating like that for like 2 decades. So he's like someone who does this for a living, basically, is that he eats weird things and gets people.
He eats Orbeez for a living?
Well, he does like stunt eating. So his guts are used to crazy things being in there. So I wasn't particularly worried about him, but people got so upset at him and be like, "How could you do this?" I'm like, just block and move on.
You saying progressives tried to cancel him?
Yes, 100%. Apparently he's got some questionable opinions. I don't know the guy, so maybe, sure. Anyway, so that's a little glimpse into the community. Jim, feel free to do whatever you want with that story. Put it at the end, delete it. It's just
Put
something
it
I
at the
had
beginning.
to share.
Turn it into the last time.
Can you put it at the back of the...
Yeah, that's what I think you should do is learn about Orbeez. So, yeah, the Orbeez memes have been great. Anyway.
It's going to be very interesting in like 20 years' time when we do a look back at memes.
Trump nuclear apocalypse.
Oh, yeah, I guess that
When
is
we're
true.
living in Fallout times.
Yeah,
because
it's
of
going to be
Donald
very
Trump.
interesting to then look back at old memes when we're...
Because Donald Trump nukes California.
Yep.
Because they called him a buttface or something.
Oh, I guess I could also tell you a little story about me and this Orbeez man. Years ago, this must have been like 8 years ago or something, this guy messaged me saying, "I will pay you $5,000 to go to Las Vegas, and then I'll film you punching this guy in his big tummy." And he's in for it. And so I messaged this guy. I was like, "Hey, someone said that they want to pay me to punch you in the tummy. What's up with that?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, this guy's my stalker, and he likes to make up things."
Yikes.
Like, oh, okay. He's like, "Yeah, he's just full of bullshit." I'm like, I mean, I do want $5,000,
Yeah.
but
you can punch me if you give me $5,000.
yeah, exactly.
You should have offered to split it with him. Be like, yeah.
Fuck, punch me in the face.
Well, no, he
Fine.
would have got also paid in the scenario. He would have also been paid, but the guy was lying and was just making up a story so he can, while talking about it, masturbate.
Right. Got it.
Anyway, back to the podcast.
Yeah. we still
Back
have
to the
so much to cover.
podcast.
Vanessa, will you get us through this? Fuck.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Your name's not Vanessa.
Johnny wants to do it, and I want
No,
him
I
to
don't.
do it.
I don't want to do it.
I want Vanessa to do it.
So
John
we're
always has to do it.
heading on over to the Gomorrah. The Gomorrah.
Jabba's bar, right?
Yep. No, those are the guards. The guards.
Yeah, those are the guards.
Yeah.
Vanessa had a great interaction with them online once.
I did.
God.
Is that what this quest is like?
Yeah, it's a lot like getting Yaddle out of the pit. So we head on over to Gomorrah. Gomorrah's thing is they're really into adult
Hookers.
entertainers.
Toots.
Uh,
We call them toots on this show.
we don't call them toots on this show. We call them
We do.
swerkers.
It's canon. We call them toots.
Swerkers. So
This isn't Twitter. I'm not kowtowing to your progressive left wing. Sorry,
swerkers.
but I am going to call them toots.
It's full of swerkers, and also they like to sell you drugs just right over the counter. At Gomorrah, basically anything goes, and I would say the people there are modeled after more of a a Sopranos gritty kind of mobster, whereas the top mobsters are more Rat Pack fun, cartoony kind of people.
Yeah, these guys aren't that fun.
They're not that fun. They're not that great. So there's a couple of things we can do at Gomorrah. The first thing is if we head all the way back out to the courtyard, we can meet a nice lady named Joanna, who is working her job, but she doesn't really want to continue to work there. She wants to go with Carlitos, who was an Omerta member of the family, as she says, who fell in love with her, and because of that was driven off by another Omerta named Cachino, who didn't like it. So she's like, can you please find Carlitos and reunite us? So Carlitos can be found at Vault 21, which is at the very end of the strip by the NCR Embassy. And it's a hotel/vault museum.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I didn't do this one. I told you, I went in here. I couldn't fucking find this guy. And I talked to Joanna beforehand, but, like, never got a prompt for this quest. It was a real bummer.
So sorry, where's Vault 21?
It's, like, at the end of the strip.
Oh.
I'm sorry you couldn't find him.
It just looks like another casino.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But it's, like, in a vault.
No, you can keep telling us about it. I don't. Yeah, I've never done this quest.
Yeah. I can't do it now. I fucked it, so.
Oh.
Well, I don't know, but I couldn't find the guy, so tell us.
So he's like, yeah, I love Joanna. I want to leave with her, but it's so dangerous and so hard. Will you please help me? And you agree to help him. In order to do that, you need to inform Joanna of his plan. And he also asks you to go find his friends at the Atomic Wrangler, who will sort of provide cover in case they run into trouble. His friends' names are Big Beard and Small Beard.
Ooh.
They hang out together, and if you go talk to them, if you try to talk to Small Beard first, Small Beard is like, nah, talk to Big Beard. Big Beard handles the talking. And you talk to Big Beard, and you're like, Carlitos wants help, and Big Beard's like, all right, but this will make us even. You can ask him what happened between you and Carlitos, and he says, that's between us. And I think then you can ask him, did it have something to do with beards? And Big Beard's like, I'm not going to tell you anything else about it. So... with Big Beard and Small Beard convinced that they will provide the firepower, you go to Joanna and you say, okay, plan's on. She and some other girls who work there decide to dress up as casino guests and then sneak out the front door. So you sneak them out, you take them into Freeside and take them to where Carlitos and Big Beard and Small Beard are waiting. And then you are... set upon by a gang of Omertas. Because I had the super high speech, I was like, wow, the boss is going to be so mad at you for ruining this operation. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I said, oh, Carlitos here stole a whole bunch of money, and he's agreed to return it in exchange for Joanna and these girls. And they're like, all that money? Whoa! Don't tell the boss we were here. We're sorry about almost messing up this legitimate exchange. Goodbye! And then Carlitos and Joanna go off happily into the night.
Aw, I'll have to do this mission. This sounds fun.
May be possible at this point in the game. May not be possible.
Well, I am reloading my
Vault.
save.
I went to Vault 21 and spent like 24 hours in game time trying to find this fucking guy in this vault. I'm not doing it again. I'm done.
Maybe it was a glitch. Maybe he wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't know. I did hit a glitch.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, this chunker. I did Cass's companion quest. I don't know if y'all have done it, but you can... She wants to go and check out her. So when you hire Cass, when you buy Cass out for the Crimson Caravans, she reveals to you that her caravan's gone anyway. It was all burnt and attacked, and everybody's dead and everything's gone. And at some point, she'll ask you to, like, I want to go check out the site where it happened. I didn't get a chance, and I'd just like to see it for myself. So you go, and you find out that you can tell these people were attacked by energy weapons. Mm-hmm. And she wants to know more. She's heard tell of another caravan that ended the same way out somewhere. So you go check that out. And then that leads to a third burned out caravan that you need to go check out. And once you've checked all three, Cass comes to the conclusion that the Crimson Caravan and somebody else. Do you remember who, Vanessa?
The Gun Runners? No, the Van Graffs.
The Van Graffs, not the Gun Runners. The Van Graffs orchestrated this intentionally so that they could buy out Cass. So she wanted revenge. She wants to go kill them all. And I told her, chill out. What if we get proof of what happened and take it to the NCR? And initially she's like, fuck that. They won't do anything. But I said, listen, let's get the proof and then see what happens. And if that's not good enough, then we'll do what you want to do. So I snuck into the Crimson Caravan office, cracked their safe, found a note confirming that Alice, what's-her-face, the head of the Crimson Caravan, had ordered this attack, basically. Mm-hmm. And then I went to the Van Graffs, which are at the Silver Rush laser energy weapon shop in Freeside. And when I got there, I got a bug where when I walked in, there's a scene that's supposed to play out. Where when you walk in the first time, you're not allowed to like move through the shop. There's guards blocking the way. And there's a big fence. And you're supposed to go stand in front of the fence. And a little scene will play out where the Van Graffs execute some woman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And that scene would not play for me.
Oh.
And I Googled it. I tried multiple ways to get it to start. If I was playing on PC, there were ways to do it. But there was no way for me to make it happen. And so at first I was like, I guess I just can't complete Cass's quest. And then I was like, oh, wait. Yeah, I can. So I killed all the Van Graffs.
Wow.
And then I went to the Crimson Caravan and I went into Alice's office and shot her right in the fucking face.
Wow.
And I completed Cass's quest. I figured Vanessa 3, if I know anything about Vanessa is going to complete the quest.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
That's the Vanessa thing to do. You're not going to leave a hanging quest. That's more important than morality. It's more important than anything. You've got to complete that quest.
Yeah.
So I slaughtered a bunch of people. And then from that point on, I have a mixed relationship with the NCR. They don't like me as much anymore. Because I sometimes go off and kill fuck tons of people. I had to kill like 20 people to kill all the Van Graffs. It was crazy.
Wow. I'm amazed that you managed
in.
to do it, actually.
You can't get in without giving all your guns up, which is a pretty normal thing in this game. All the casinos do it. A lot of the camps do it. So the only way I could do it was to kill the guy out front of the Van Graffs, which then caused a lot of the thugs to run outside. And then I would run in, shoot somebody, run back out, and get one or two of them to chase me. And so, yeah, I was able to do it because I was able to take them down like a couple at a time. And then eventually all the thugs were gone, and it was just the Van Graffs left inside, and I went in and shot them in the fucking face.
Wow. Well,
That's the Vanessa way to do it.
Well, the Vanessa one way to do it is to sneak into the Silver Rush and steal evidence of their conspiracy.
How do you sneak in?
I snuck in. Well, I can't sneak in.
You still have to go through the front door.
Yeah, I went through the front door, and then once I was in there, I got sneaky.
No, I couldn't do it because there were two guards on either side of me staring at me.
No,
so
I
there
know.
was nothing I could do.
I know the scene you're talking about. And I'm sorry you ran into that glitch, but it wouldn't be a Bethesda game.
Well, the good news is it didn't give me... You can go ahead.
It wouldn't be a Bethesda game without glitches.
The good news is I saved the woman that they were going to kill. I didn't get anything for it. She didn't say thank you, but, you know.
Hey. Oh.
Yeah.
At least you did some good.
That is good. You're a hero.
So I had asked Cass to wait outside, and then when I was reloading my saves and realizing what I had to do, I didn't think to remind her to follow me. So when I came out, even though she did help me kill a lot of them, she still was like, well, if you were just going to kill them all, you should have told me. It's pretty funny. Anyway, that was my side quest. Let's talk about... Did we finish talking about the Gomorrah?
No.
No. Well, no. I thought we had.
Well, but we can go through it real fast.
Yeah, let's do it.
So there's How Little We Know, where you have to bribe the receptionist into talking, or she's already been bribed. Basically, Benny had been paying her, but she hadn't actually given Benny any info. So I was like, I'm here to collect on that info you got paid for. And she's like, all right, well, and she tells you about Kachino, who has been taking money from the Omertas and doing like his own dealing on the side. And he also was...
Oh, you had to bribe her?
Oh, I guess Benny already bribed her. So I didn't have to.
Who did?
Benny.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just speeched her.
I speeched her, but I couldn't speech her good enough to tell me this until I got the Yes Man quest about it. And then finding out that he's been bribing the receptionist. So, Vanessa,
Yes.
I did not do the help Kachino path of this. So why don't you talk about that, and I'll tell you the help Big Sal part.
Yeah, so once you learn that Kachino's been sort of self-dealing, you can take some steps to get his journal. You can either get it from his suite or from his back pocket. My sneak was high enough at this point that I just took it from his back pocket. And then I
did the same thing. I love waiting until they're like mad at you and they're like, don't fucking talk to me. And then they turn around and you just like crouch down and pick their pocket. Yeah. It's so silly.
And then you're like, hey, Kachino, guess what I got? And he's like, oh, no. So he freaks out and he's like, wait. How about you give me that back and I can tell you all about the Emeritus plans and it will really help the NCR and that'd be great for everyone. So let's do that instead of you giving that to my bosses. So I was like, okay. And he explains that the bosses have some kind of plan in the works. He doesn't know exactly what it is, but it involves two people, Clandon and Troki. Mm-hmm. And he says you need to sort of nullify them. For Clandon, he suggests that you can kill him. Or, if you don't want to just go that route, you can go into his hotel room, break into his safe, and discover that he has been making snuff tapes for fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Once
not
you have
good.
those, you can tell him to get the heck out of here. You can also find... in his suite, there's a couple of rooms in the back that are quite bloody, and you can get a storage key from his room. And if you go look in that storage closet, there is a dead lady in there. However, in my game, she was standing up and walking around and saying, passive dialogue. And then when I tried to interact with her, it said, "This lady is dead. Do you want to examine her? Medical skill of 35 or higher required." So she wasn't dead. And she did just walk out of that room once I opened the door. So I actually just went the route of shooting Clandon in the head because I didn't care for him. Troki believes that he has killed a sex worker. He said that he was with them, and then he blacked out. He must have taken too many drugs. And you can break into Big Sal's office and find a note that basically says, "Hey, we drugged Troki and then made this girl disappear, and now he thinks he killed her. Lol."
I think with a high enough speech, you can just convince him of that without any proof.
Oh, wow, really? And then once Troki is convinced, he's like, okay, so there's a whole bunch of guns in the basement, and I have this explosive that you can use if you want to go blow it up. It's a thermite thing, so just take it and go blow them up, please. And I was like, oh, Troki, I don't want to do it. What if you do it? And
I did the same thing.
Troki did agree to do it, and he died.
Do you watch him do it?
I did
Is
this-
that how he dies?
You have to leave the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's like, you
I
don't
actually
wanna
did
be
the same
here when
thing.
this happens.
But I couldn't find anything with Clandon. Like, he wouldn't tell me anything, and I couldn't find anything. So I decided to go fuck with Troki instead. And then the Clandon stuff just didn't matter. I never did it. I didn't have to do it.
Wow. So, I mean, I guess you could still go shoot him in the head if you wanted to. Because he sucks.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think he left.
That makes sense. So once that's done, I went back to Kachino, and Kachino's like, hey, the bosses basically know that you were in on this because you're the courier. You're causing all this big stir on the strip. You killed Benny. You went into the Lucky 38. No one goes in there. It's crazy. So let's go upstairs and have a talk with them. And then when they're talking to you, they won't expect you to pull out a gun and shoot them. He gives you a gun. And I was like, well, they'll be looking at me, but they won't expect you to pull out a gun and shoot them. And he's like, fine, I'll do it. So I went up there. You get into a meeting with Big Sal, who's the big chief guy, and his Lieutenant Zero. And I essentially talked Big Sal into Nero. Yeah. I talked Big Sal into villain monologuing. And he's like, yeah, we're going to take these guns, and this other guy's going to make us a bomb, and we're going to blow up the New Republic embassy. It's going to be so cool. And
Counselor Lee is going to be so mad if you do that.
Yeah. They're like, and we're going to do it. It's going to be cool. And I then said to Big Sal, wow, Zero didn't tell me any of this when he hired me to kill you. Nero. And Big Sal's like, Nero, I knew it. You double-crossing son of a bitch. I knew it was only a matter of time. So then he turns his gun on Nero, and they have a little shootout. And then Kachino pulls out his gun and shoots Nero. And that was the end of that.
Problem solved.
My speech was not high enough to talk Kachino into doing it, so I just kind of had to do it myself. But once again, one thing I've noticed is this game just seems to it doesn't always do this, but a lot of times it just ignores my companions. So, like, they're like, we're going to take all your weapons. And then our kid Ganon pulls out his fucking laser pistol and shoots them, or Rex bites their fucking faces off. Also, I got Rex, and I love him.
He's great. So I decided to help Big Sal. So I was like, I went to the guard at the Gomorrah. I was like, hey, I got proof Kachino's doing dealings on the side and taking money. And so he's like, oh, you should show that to Sal or Nero right away. I couldn't find Nero. I wanted to meet Nero. I could only meet Big Sal. So I tell Big Sal and give him the journal, and he's like, "Oh wow, we've got to take care of him, huh?" And so he kills Kachino. He like brings him to the office, and then he's got like this hitman there that super kills Kachino. And he's like, "Okay, well, I don't know you from Adam, so how about you go steal some gun or help Troiki and help Clandon out?" I was like, okay. So the reason that Vanessa didn't help Kachino is that Kachino was very rude to Vanessa, but Big Sal's pretty rude to Vanessa too.
Yeah.
Kachina's a creep, and I was kind of bummed out on my side, the same as Vanessa's, when Kachino kind of took over.
Yeah.
Because like his diary implies that he's a psychopath.
Yeah, and actually Joanna, if you do that quest and free her, she's like, I don't want to talk about what Kachino does to me or to the other girls, but he is not okay. He's bad news.
So I did. So Troki seemed fine. He's like, oh, there's a shipment of guns, and I feel like I'm fucked because it got stolen by some fiends. So I went and got the guns back for him, and that was easy. That was fine. And then for Glendon, he's like, okay, so what do you know about explosives? Because I want a big explosion. We want to really just wreck the strip, and I'm going to use not just like explosives. I want to use like chlorine gas. And so could you help me find some of that? And I was like,
that's not cool.
And I'm like, okay. And I figured Mick and Ralph might have some, and they definitely do. So I bought some off of them after I explained that I'm just going to use this for science purposes. Like, okay. And then I did that, and I thought that there was going to be more to the quest, or I'd have a chance to like turn things around and maybe take over the Gomorrah or something. But it was just like, okay, we're going to kill everyone on the strip. And then I went back to Yes Man. He's like, so you're going to help them murder everyone on the strip. That's going to be great for the strip.
Wow.
He was
And
very insulting.
If you do that, you lose some reputation on the strip, right?
Yes, I was now known as a troublemaker who was mostly good-hearted, but occasionally did a little prank or two.
like release chlorine gas?
So basically this was the last thing I did this morning. So I think I might redo this and not finish that quest. So I could either tell Yes Man to kill Big Sal. I could go in there and clean house myself. I don't know. Is there another way that I could? Who is it that you can talk to kill everyone in the casino?
I guess that I don't actually know, Johnny, because Kachino's dead for you now, right? So you can't talk to Kachino.
He's super dead.
I guess you.
Yeah, would it be bad if I just went in and killed Kachino? Like, what would that change?
You can totally do that, or you could get the robots to do it if you don't want to get your hands dirty. So I don't know. Maybe I'll look up if there's anything else I can do to clean out the house, because I don't want the robots will murder everyone in that casino, pretty much, right? Like, they aren't going to be nice about it, and there's a lot of people.
I don't know. You're talking about a lot of shit about I don't know yet.
Okay,
you know.
Oh, the Yes Man explained that to me.
I only talked to him the one time, so okay. I don't know.
He's like,
I've been following the quests, but I haven't gone back and talked to him.
If you ask him about it, he's like, so tell me if you like these people. If you don't like them, we'll send in the robots and murder them all. Oh, okay. That's basically what happens,
I feel like that's
right?
a good solution for all of the casinos, though. Yeah. It's not very nice. I know there's a lot of, like, just workers there.
Yeah. That's why I don't necessarily want to do that. Vanessa, is that what would happen? Because the Yes Man said, like, he'll send in the robots, right?
Johnny, I don't know what will happen.
Yeah, stop spoiling the game, Johnny.
It's not a spoiler. It's what he said would happen.
Well, if that's what he said, then
I didn't say it to me.
Yeah. Maybe he'll only do it for Johnny. Maybe he won't do it for you.
I don't know.
Maybe he likes Johnny better.
Maybe I'm a little too much of a wild card. Anyway, let's talk about the Ultra Lux, Vanessa. With
Ultra Lux.
I remember this being a lot more black and white than it actually is, and I like how complicated this quest can get.
Yeah, this one was fun.
So at the Ultra Lux, you meet the workers there. They all are members of something called the White Glove Society, and they wear formal wear and masks.
Now, is this a Fallout 2 thing?
It does seem to be calling back to previous games.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know for sure. So the White Glove Society, they're elegant, they're sophisticated, they're just great. There's a gentleman in...
They're creeps.
There's a gentleman in the middle of their casino named Heck Gunderson. Mm-hmm. You can actually meet another... Heck Gunderson's a rancher, a cowhand. Mm-hmm. And you can meet another gentleman outside who's also in the cattle industry. And he's like, I hate Heck Gunderson. Go in there and find out how to ruin his life. But that's sort of a whole separate quest. That's completely optional. So
I missed that.
Heck Gunderson says that his son is missing, Ted, and he wants you to find out what happened to him. There are sort of two leaders of the White Glove Society, Marjorie and Mortimer. If you go talk to Marjorie, she'll mention that some other people have gone missing, like a young couple on their honeymoon. And she
tells you about an investigator.
Yeah, and that an investigator has been around looking for them, so maybe you should talk to him. Marjorie might also let slip that the White Glove Society used to sort of sometimes eat people.
What she and several other people in this hotel will let slip is that they definitely have never eaten people.
Yeah. Which is not necessarily something that people who have never eaten people say.
Yeah, I definitely had a prompt where it wanted me to be like, oh, so you definitely eat people. But I was like, I'm going to play this cool.
She doesn't like that prompt. She gets upset if you say that.
Yeah, no. But you can go talk to Mortimer as well about the sort of same thing. And if you roll up to Mortimer and you're like, guess what? I love chowing down on people. He's a little bit more receptive to that.
Mm-hmm. He won't. If you tell him about if you ask Mortimer about the investigator, that immediately cuts off access to telling him that you're a cannibal just like him.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, you have to be very...
Wait, if you tell him what?
If you tell him, hey, who was this investigator? Can I go meet with him? He lets you know where he is. But that will cut off the path of helping Mortimer with his plan.
One thing that
I still had that prompt, but it was for the lady that ran the place. Like even after the whole Mortimer thing had shaken down, it still had that prompt for me to be like, by the way, I'm a cannibal too.
Check me out. There's a perk called the Cannibal perk, and if you have that, it makes makes Mortimer easier to bond with.
Johnny and I learned from our friends on our Discord server that there's like a extra perk where if you eat like really important people, or maybe it's a Chivo.
No, it's a perk. It does something different if you eat like, I guess, Kaiser and maybe the president. I don't know who else you could eat.
Wow, what a great game!
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm coming around. I still don't like big chunks of it, but I gotta give it credit for being pretty fucking entertaining. The chairman. Ugh.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Ugh.
So I decided to go the investigator route. I headed up to the investigator's room. And when I got in there, he was in there, but he was having a nice lie down. In a little pool of his own blood.
Yeah.
And he wasn't doing the living thing anymore.
No. And he did have a match
So do you
book.
get attacked as soon as you like search him?
Yep.
I was confused. I thought that I had done something wrong and that the whole hotel was going to be after me, but it wasn't. I just killed these two guys and then nobody cared.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they're Mortimer's goons.
Mortimer's goons. So you find a matchbook on him that says Steam Room 4 o'clock. And if you go there, you run into a member of the White Glove Society named, what's his name? Chauncey. And Chauncey's like, hey, yeah, so there's no way you would have guessed or known this, but the White Glove Society used to eat people. And Mortimer really wants to go back to eating people. So he says we can't really be gourmands if we're denying ourselves the most delicious meat, which, as everyone knows, is yummy, yummy people.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, an assassin bursts into the room
Mm-hmm.
and shoots Chauncey. But not before Chauncey can tell us that Ted Gunderson is in the freezer in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I put on some White Glove Society outfits because I had some from the dudes who had attacked me.
Yep.
And disguised myself as a member of the White Glove Society, and I sauntered my way all the way down into the kitchen. And there you can run into the chef, Philippe. Philippe has
And
been...
then you pull out your silenced pistol and shoot him in the back of the
That
head.
is not what I did. I did something even worse to him.
What'd you do?
You slept with him and then you killed him?
No, I wish. So Philippe has been working on a recipe for mock human pie. And what I did is I had a high enough medical skill that I was able to talk to him and start bringing up insecurities he had surrounding his father and not being able to live up to his parents' expectations of him. And really, really just went for his self-esteem hard until he had to go cry in a corner.
Wow.
Look, I
It's
learned
better than what I did.
I learned all about negging from my boy Benny, my one true love, and I'm gonna use the lessons that he taught me well. I didn't shoot him in the head.
Vanessa, we forgot the greatest piece of hot gaming news. Speaking of
What's that?
Who's in Starfield?
Oh, is that true though, or is that just a weird rumor?
No, it's true.
I mean, I saw the clip.
Who?
Yeah.
It's Brian David Gilbert.
The unraveled guy with the big floppy hair.
The one who blocked Johnny because he asked him if he knew any magic tricks.
She do close-up magic.
So,
What a loser.
so once Philippe is crying in the corner, I made the mock person pie, and then intercom to the waiter, and I was like, "The pie is ready. Come eat this delicious pie of human."
I had to Google how... I tried the other two ovens, and I guess I missed the prompt on the third oven that lets you cook. I was like, how do I
this
cook?
stuff's not always
How do I
clear.
cook? It's one
Well, it
oven.
is the one that Philippe was standing in front of.
Yeah.
So I once the pie was on its way, I got Ted out of the freezer, and I was like, "Come on, Ted, we're gonna sneak upstairs." And I snuck upstairs to their dining room, and Mortimer was giving this long speech. He gives this elaborate speech about how, friends, we've denied ourselves for so long, but now
It takes so long.
Tonight.
I had to turn the music off, turn the background noise off, turn the radio. I had to turn everything off because I fucked up and revealed Johnny or whatever the kid's name is.
Ted.
Too early, Ted. Mm-hmm. And he was like, haha, well, I haven't revealed what we were doing yet. So now you've just fucked yourself. And I had to reload a save. And I had to fucking turn everything off just so I could hear what this guy was saying.
yeah.
If you,
but
there's like a point where you can sneak just close enough if you're sneaking that you can hear him, and Ted doesn't run and start fighting everybody. Because
But
if you just
it
walk
is
in
really
there-
tricky.
Yeah.
But basically, you have to listen to his whole speech where he says, tonight, if I'm guilty of cannibalism, you can't condemn me because we're all guilty of it. We all ate delicious Ted Gunderson. And at that point, you can just walk up to Mortimer and be like, hey, look who I got here. It's Ted Gunderson. Looks like you didn't eat people after all, sucker. Pew, 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 pew. And then Mortimer says, well, I will eat people someday. Goodbye. And he runs away.
He just runs out.
Yeah.
I was real bummed out. I didn't get to kill this guy.
I mean, you could have.
Vanessa 3 does not stand for people eating people.
You could have vaxed it. You'd be like,
Yeah, you probably could have killed him, but
Yeah.
Why
his sweet
bother?
hat.
And then I went to talk to Marjorie, and I'm like, hey, that was pretty cool how I saved you from being a cannibal, huh? And she's like, yes. Welcome to the White Glove Society. Now you're a member, too. And I was like, hooray.
I want to kill these people.
I actually just asked her before that. I was like, hey, can I be in the White Glove Society? And she's like, you are incredible. You've done so much good. Everyone loves you here. This is before the chlorine gas stuff.
Right.
We think you're amazing. So, of course, you can be a member. I will sponsor
Wow.
you immediately. I'm like, oh, thank you.
That's so great.
You're not just a member, you're a founder. So
I also went to the basement dressed like a White Glove Society person. And then I did pickpocket Philippe to get those recipes for the human flesh. And after that, I talked to him and I was like, hey, are those rad roaches in your freezer? And he's like, what? And runs in there and I locked him in and he got real upset. He got real upset about that. Otherwise, I did it the way Vanessa did it. And then I did let Ted, I also talked Ted into not killing everybody. And then I talked to his dad and be like, no, you should still give them meat because if you don't, then people are going to starve to death and end up eating each other anyways. So.
yeah, I did that too. Ted was a real shithead after I got him back to his dad. To me, he was like, if you were competent, would have been out of there a lot earlier.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to shoot him in the fucking face.
Yeah, no one talks to Vanessa like that.
Nobody talks to Vanessa 3 that way.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Vanessa 3 is a real compounding of Vanessa's personality traits.
Yeah.
So
It's
unfortunately,
like every generation dilutes it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yep. So that Mortimer path, I really wanted to do it, but yeah, as soon as my saves were all after telling him that I was looking for the investigator, so I didn't get a chance to tell him that I wanted to help him because that one sounds great. You can kill Ted, and then you can take his blood and put it all over Heck's penthouse to frame Heck for the murder of his own son, and then get him arrested. Oh, that's great. But what's this path of insanity? Because I looked
Of insanity.
I looked at that one, and it's bonkers.
Yeah, the path of insanity is so Mortimer's like, yeah, we shouldn't have taken Ted. It's going to get us in big trouble, but we really, really want to eat someone. So can you help us out? And in that case, you can free Ted and return him to his dad. And then Mortimer's like, okay, but we still need to eat someone. And if you have any of your human companions with you, so like Boone, Cass, Arcade, you can be like, hey, how about you eat this guy? And permanently hand over a companion of your choice to be eaten.
Well, that's fucking insane.
Yep.
You know what? What good is Boone anyway?
Yeah. I mean,
Dude's a fucking wet blanket. My family was kidnapped and then I murdered them.
yeah, I mean, maybe it's poetic justice. Maybe it's a way to put him to use, finally. But yeah,
I need to go pick him up and re-pick him up and do his companion quest.
I just think that it is crazy that this game even gives you that option.
Yeah, that's
because
great.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But I like that there's also a different guy, the one who escaped from the Ultra Lux, who almost got eaten, and you can go Black Widow seduce him and drug him or incapacitate him, and have this guy Carlisle St. Clair to be your other meal. And that would have been the path that I did, but sadly I locked myself out of that because that sounded like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, did anyone do any other companion quests? I talked about Cass.
I did Rex.
Oh, yeah, me too. Tell us. It was good.
Yeah, because that's a whole line. You meet Marcus.
You go to Super Mutant Town. It's great.
Marcus,
my favorite spot in the game.
Talks about the Fallout 2 lead guy, and he's like, "Yeah, this special hero helped me." And
then, I read that whole thread and was like, I bet they're talking about Fallout 2.
Yeah. So he's voiced by Michael Dorn. So you have a Star Trek-man.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Boy, I guess I'm not picking up on these. It's funny, when we played Baldur's Gate, I caught Michael Dorn immediately. Didn't I?
Maybe I think so.
I think I did. But I didn't notice it in this one, nor did I catch Dave Foley.
Well, Dave Foley's doing a weird performance, but I like him a lot.
Well, he's got like a synthesizer over his voice too. But
but this is just Michael Dorn being Michael Dorn. And so you, to get Rex's... Basically, Rex has brain problems, and there's a dog doctor and a neurosurgeon living out in Jacobstown so that he doesn't get bothered and he can kind of do his research quietly without anyone after him. And he's like, well, there's 3 dog brains you could get. 1 dog brain is over at the Legion, which I'm not going to bother with. I'm not going over there. 1 is at the junkyard.
Well, you do have to go there.
Yeah.
Well...
Yeah, you do.
I mean, you don't have to.
To get the ending, I think you have to get to that bunker.
I had already replaced Rex's brain, but I still, when I was at the Legion, I met the guy that you can talk to and be like, "Hey, give me your dog's brain." But I didn't do it because I'd already done it.
Where you got the one?
It was weird that it
the...
still gave me the option. Yes, I did the lazy version. What to me seemed like the lazy version, which is just go back to Nexus? Novak, and to the woman that you've probably already met, and just be like, hey, I'll give you 100 caps for your dog's brain. Like, it was really easy.
I was going to do that, but then I heard the dog yelp, and I was like, nope, not doing that. That dog seemed like a good guy.
Oh, yeah. She cuts that fucking dog's head right off, right in front of you. The dog's head explodes when you say yes. When you're like... I'll buy that dog's brain. She's like, great. And then the dog's head just fucking flies off. It's crazy.
Puppy.
Wait, do you have the gut?
As my robo dog.
Do you have the guts perk there? The blood and guts perk?
No. No.
Weird.
And I fucking hate. I even specifically turned off the death cam, and I still get all these slow motion death cam shots.
Yeah, this game's pretty buggy. Sometimes it gets stuck in death cam for like a minute.
Yeah.
I got stuck in VATS once, and it took legitimately like 5 minutes of just like watching me stand there in slow mo. I have no idea why.
Yeah.
I tried to turn it all off. Like, listen, it's fine. If people like that, I'm not trying to talk shit about it, but I don't fucking need that shit.
There's a perk.
Not that I'm like opposed to it or I think it's gross. I mean, it's kind of gross, but it's not that I think it's gross. It's just, it's a waste of time.
There's a perk I've literally never seen before that I got. Called, I think it's like Miss Mystery or something. And it's a lady who's just like the mysterious stranger who shows up to help you in VATS. I haven't seen her. She hasn't shown up yet. But I did get the perk, and I'm very excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I got her too. She's great.
I got a perk that if you kill something with VATS, it like refills your VATS, and that's
yes.
Oh yeah,
that sounds great. So I went and got the Fiend dog, which is just a dog with the fiends. I found a random vault when I was doing some other stuff.
Interesting. I found the fiends, but like I didn't have a quest for it, so I just kind of left it because I was like, I guess I'll leave this until somebody tells me to go here.
A quest to kill a bunch of fiends. So.
I've done it.
Like Chop Chop. Around where I think Chop Chop is, there's a vault. Vault 3. I haven't gone in there yet. But there is a vault there. In that weird little area.
There's all these mystery vaults all over the place.
Anyway, so I got that fiend dog brain, and he's like, oh, this brain is hopped up on turbo, so it's going to make your dog super fast. I'm like, yeah.
Oh. So you get an extra perk. So the perk changes depending on which brain you get, I assume. What did I get? I got like Loyal Companion or something. I don't remember.
I think the attack goes up with The Gibson dog brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I was happy no matter what. Like, I was really... This, like... I complain a lot about a lot of the things in this game, a lot of the kind of era-specific stuff, the chairmen, the kings, I'm not into that fucking era, and I don't care for it. But a lot of the side stuff really does hook me, and the Rex stuff really grabbed me. And then I hung out in Jacobstown with the Super Mutants and did their whole fucking night conquests and all that shit, because I was like, I love this. I'm loving this.
Should we talk about, or are we doing Jacobstown next week, Vanessa?
I didn't really have it on the list of things to do because it's such a sort of, I mean, you can play the whole game and never go there.
Yeah, it's, I couldn't remember if that was one of the things the Yes Men tells you to do.
No.
Well, no, it's not. Let's talk about it next week because we are at the end of this episode. So, Vanessa, where are we playing to next week?
Did Vanessa have a companion quest she wanted to talk
good
about?
quest. Good call.
Nope.
Good quest, I said.
Nope. Not this time.
Because I started doing Veronica's, but that leads into... Vanessa got mad at me because Veronica was asking me to go there, and I did have to walk...
Who's Veronica?
Oh, she's my companion.
She's the Felicia Day voiced companion.
Yeah, the Felicia Day companion.
Oh, I forgot about that. I never went and did it.
Yeah, she's over by the 108? She's which is right by Boulder City, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So
my plan now is to do Arcade Ganon and get his quests done, and then maybe go back and do Boone, and then probably find another companion.
Mm-hmm. I've got Lily. She's great. We'll talk about
I like
her next
Lily,
time.
but I don't know.
All right, dearie.
Talk about it next time.
Yeah.
So next week, we will do the Boomer quests, which we didn't get to this time. We'll also meet the Brotherhood of Steel and the Great Kahns.
Ooh, yeah. I've
That's
been
a
doing
lot
some
of
the...
content.
I've been doing the conquest.
So, sorry, Johnny, go ahead.
I found out that if you give the drug dealer couple drug recipes for free, you get karma. It's like, oh, what a good thing you're doing. You're giving them all these hardcore drugs recipes and not charging them a cent. Karma goes up.
Yeah, it's generous of you.
The conquest took me like 15 minutes because my speech is so high that I just talked them into everything I wanted them to do.
Nice.
That was it. And it's like, hey, what if you...
Talk about it next week.
Hey, let's save it for next week.
Next week.
All right.
My warning to you and to the listeners is that as we sort of get to the end of these quests, we will hit a point where you really need to seal yourself in with a faction. So either make saves so you can change your mind if you want to, or once you're done talking to the Brotherhood and the Great Khan, just don't go back to whoever it is you're following, be it Yes Man, Mr. House, Kaiser, the NCR, and tell them that you're done with these quests until you're for sure that that's who you want to be with. And,
it's interesting. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
One little tip I like is that since Kaiser is like okay with you now, I like to use this
Caesar
period of the game to just go around without worrying about being assassinated all the time. You know? Explore, have a little fun.
He's always been fine with Vanessa, too. He's never had a problem with her.
Yeah, why would he?
I like that. I've noticed that when they're talking about Caesar,
Kaiser.
when they're talking about him like they're referring to him by name, they call him Kaiser. But when they seem to be referring to him by title, they call him Caesar.
Maybe.
And I've had characters in the game call him by both names like in the same chat, which is really strange.
I don't think it's that weird. I think his name is probably Kaiser and Caesar is his title.
I like that he's just a dude, by the way. I can't wait to shoot him in the fucking face. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to murder that man.
We'll get to it next time on Square Roots.
So, who would like to discuss what they are squarely against first?
I have a question for Vanessa.
Yeah.
Are the followers
That's not what I asked.
a faction you can ally with, like to get an ending?
The whom?
The followers of the apocalypse.
Yes, they are a faction, but you cannot use them as your sort of main buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only the 4, right? It's Yes Man, Mr. House, Legion, and CR.
Correct, but your relationship with all these sub-factions will affect their ending.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just wanted to know.
All right, well, since you wanted to know so bad, why don't you tell us what you're squarely against?
All right. I am squarely against getting locked into that Omerta quest and being like, oh, so I guess you're going to kill everybody. I'm like, oh, I was not paying enough attention to that
They
dialogue.
tell you.
They did. I wasn't paying that much attention. I should have paid. So I'm squarely against myself. And also, I'm roundly for walking around the strip. Just like, especially with the surround sound on, it does a really good impression for a 360 era game of just being like in Las Vegas. I mean, I know the zones are really small and everything, but I don't know, it just sounds like there's sounds of people all around you and the lights are really nice. And I think that's the best looking area in the game and looks really cool. So I'm roundly for that.
Tiny little areas.
Yeah. Yep. What about you, Matthew?
It does. Downtown Brown, that burp. It does. Just to follow up on what you said, it does. I hate this like tacky style, but it does look great and it's impressive in a video game. I am roundly for. Revenge.
Wow.
I found fucking squeezing Benny for information and then shooting him in the fucking face. Incredibly satisfying. Like, it might be a top 10 gaming moment. Like, I really enjoyed this. The game really set up one thing for me, and that was get Benny. And then it let me do that, and it was good. Felt good. Vanessa.
One time when I was on the New Vegas Strip, I saw a Brahmin running down the middle of the street, being chased by 3 NCR officers. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm roundly for. Anything can happen in New Vegas. It's crazy.
Well, it's funny. These Oblivion? No. Obsidian. These Obsidian games do a great job of like simulating like an open world and like an environment where you can just do anything. But every time I play one of these games, I hit a point where I realize like, oh, I can't. And it always frustrates me. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. Well, there's only so many things that they can program.
Yeah. I get it logically. I know it's not a knock on the game. They certainly do more than most games. Mm-hmm, you know? So like it's not a knock on the games, but it is always kind of you do eventually hit the wall where you're like, "Oh, I guess I can't just assassinate all the heads of the families and the story will be like, well, you've assassinated all the heads of the families."
I think you can do that. That in particular, that one example, I think you can go and kill the leaders of all, and then eat them if you want to gain their powers.
All right, well, that might be a spoiler for what Matthew's going to do, because I'm in a real, like, I'm almost in like a real pickle where, like, I don't want to side with any of these people. So at this point, I've met all of the factions. And at the end of the day, with all the factions, what I've really come down to is you're all scum. And I kind of want to kill you all.
Even the followers of the apocalypse?
No, that's a good point. I do respect the followers of the apocalypse. But that's it. Fucking Robo-suit boys, gonna kill them. Every head of a family in a casino, gonna kill them. The kings, kill them. Kahns, kill them. So, we have a Patreon. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Patreon that we would love for you to subscribe to. You can find it at patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. We have 2 fantastic tiers. Tier 1 for $3 a month. You can gain access to all of our amazing bonus content. We have dozens of episodes at this point, ranging from Squarely Against's, Square Roots Instant Classics, where we play... Fuck, I'm all burpy now.
Burp it out, Matt.
Square Roots Instant Classics, where we play new games. Square Roots Versus, where we play old games, but don't play them chunk by chunk. Lately, we've been doing movie commentaries. Not really riffs, but just kind of like watch-alongs. We do movie reviews. We just do all sorts of stuff. If you enjoy this show, you will enjoy our bonus episodes. They're fun. We have a good time. For $5 a month, you can you can be a Square Roots Platinum Tier Diamond Club ring-a-ding level listener, and you get to vote on our upcoming games. That's right. We used to do a few votes a year, and for the last couple of years, every game has been a vote. So if you want to have some say in what we're going to play next, join our Patreon for $5 a month and become a voting member. Currently, we have a vote going on. It's Matthew. That's me. It's Matthew's month. And my choice for this next vote, I kept it real simple. There's only 2 options. I said, all year, we're going to play one of these games this year. And now the time has come. Right now, we have a vote going on. And the options are Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy V. So if you would like to have a say in what we're going to play next, that's where it is. Come join up. The vote currently is not quite tied. It was tied. But as of now, September the 21st, so a few days before this episode releases, Final Fantasy IV is in the lead by 51%, but Final Fantasy V right behind it at 49%. So if you want to be able to affect that vote, you can do it right now by going to patreon.com/squarerootspodcast and making your pick.
Should I
Vanessa, John, can I ask you, do you have a preference here?
Yes.
Oh, Vanessa does. Vanessa, say more.
I don't want to play the one with butts in it.
So?
Okay. I have a preference, and that's because I want to play the one with butts in it.
Do you not like butts?
Butts.
No, I just, I haven't played the other one for so long that I barely remember what it's about, and I would like to experience it.
Did you play 5?
I think so. I think I played it on my phone a few years ago.
I don't know much about either of them. I've always heard that people seem to really like the story of 4 a lot. That's the one that stars the Dark Knight, Cecil.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So expect a lot of Batman jokes if that one wins. And of course, And of course, Final Fantasy V. I've not heard a lot about the story, but
something about a
the
gay
main
tree.
characters. Yeah, the main character's name is Butts, and it reintroduced the job system after Final Fantasy III and before Final Fantasy Tactics. Personally, I'm very interested in seeing that. I mean, we're going to get to it one way or the other eventually, so it's not a big deal. But if I had to choose, I would choose 5. But don't let me sway you. Please join our Patreon, patreon.com/squarerootspodcast, and cast your vote.
Should I do a since I have so many versions of both games, should I do a vote after whichever one wins on which version I play?
No. What are you talking about? Oh, which version of the game you play?
Yeah, because I have like...
I guess. Don't you want an excuse to buy the Pixel Remaster? I fucking do.
I already have.
Oh, do you? Yeah. All right, well, I'll be spending $75 of Patreon money on the Pixel Remaster bundle.
I spend 110 Canadian dollars on it.
I'm probably going to get on the Switch. I've been thinking about it. Like, I know you can get it on PlayStation, but, like, it feels like a good Switch game.
Yeah. No, I got on Switch. It looks really good so far. I booted up 5 to see what it looked like and looked really good. I am happy. I do not want to put my finger on the scale, and frankly, I'd be happy with either of these games.
Oh, well, listen.
If we don't read the names right now, I'm going to fall asleep.
Okay. All right. We also like to thank
no matter what tier you are, even if you're just donating $1 a month to the Patreon, we read the names of all of our patrons every episode, one chunker at a time. Johnny.
I'd like to thank Jerry Schreffler, Sexy Grandma's Retirement Home, Wishbone is Gay, Don't Sleep Vanessa, Daniel Wood, Kodav Games, Sean Gonzalez, The Fallout of James Vegas's Nudes, Benjamin Hilberg, Andy Smith, No Sleepy Times for Vanessa, Word Childress, Solar Gold, Planet Story, Lexa Varial, Wakey Wakey, Boys Are Around Vanessa, Johnny Five Alive, Justin Ham, Joseph, and Hanging Up.
I'd like to thank
Florian Kramer, Widgecoon, Mama, Anthony Cruz, Eric Henry, Ian S., Megan Sullivan, Seth G., Esteban Gonzalez.
No, there's Z's in there. Ignore the Z's.
Jaybird, Zachary, Bill Harbison, Cameron Shoei, Oh No, Citrus C, Jason Timms, and
I'd like to thank Omen Ran, Eduardo Franco. It makes me uncomfortable to hear my name read on a podcast. I relate to that. Tom, Hudson Roth, Gage Lasharite, Mostly Rational Person, David Shook, friend of DeSoto Aaron O'Toole, David Green, Chris Sasaki, RP Siege, Magic Emperor Galleon D's Nuts, Activate Toilet, Magpie Juju, Justin Rash, Andy Best, and for Square Loots. I'm doing good. For Square Roots Podcast,
tired.
I'm Stim Stanks.
I'm Boop. Send us an email. You know our email address. It's squareroots@gmail.com. If you don't want to do that, you can go to our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people. You could go look at us on Blue Sky at squareroots.bski.social. Vanessa checks that once or twice.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige, Beige on Beige, and on YouTube. Links are in the show notes. And yes, I know that it's not Twitter anymore. I won't stop calling it Twitter.
Mm-hmm. All right, cats and kittens, this has been Square Roots. I've been your host, Johnny Razmataz Brandon.
Ring-a-ding-ding-ding, I'm your other host, Matthew Van Zant.
Maybe Vanessa.
Oh, sleep. Let's just
She's
carry
acting
Vanessa
like she's falling
to her.
asleep and not fucking staring at goddamn Dreamlight Valley.
Hey, Chris's, can you come pick up Vanessa and bring her to her wing? Don't stay there, though. You're not allowed spending the night in Vanessa's wing. That's for her.
Yeah.
All right, the Chris's are coming.
Yay.
The Chris's are picking her up.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Chris's. Nice to see you guys. I liked you in that Dungeons and Dragons hat movie.